Hey, what's up guys? So Escort released a new firmware update for the Max360, and basically it does two different things. Number one, they've actually improved the arrows. There was an issue with the arrows where they were kind of laggy switching front to rear. That issue has since been improved. Not totally fixed, I'm still seeing the issue, but it has been improved. The second thing is they've actually changed the way the arrow works. The way it works now is when you are in the FR1 metering modes, if you're running single or multiple arrow modes, the arrows are now the same colors, whether they're front to rear. I'll show you a little bit more about that in just a second, but let's go ahead and take a look at the two changes and kind of what the Max360 is like now. So, first thing, as far as the arrow switching, that was one of the big changes. This was a thing that people were talking about a lot. It was an issue where the arrows would take a while to switch from front to rear, more so than with some other detectors like the V1. Now, this is one of the things that they've been improving. Bag and Drag on the forum says he's actually been beta testing this for about 10 weeks now, so he's had a lot of time to test this in a variety of different situations against a bunch of sources, and he is seeing some nice improvements, which is awesome. I decided to go out earlier today and go find a nearby speed sign and do a bunch of runs back and forth. What I found was against this particular source, I'm not seeing a big improvement. When I pass it in the main direction that it's actually shooting so it can pick up my speed, it actually does still take a couple seconds for the arrows to change direction. And this is what I was seeing before with earlier versions of the Max360. Additionally, if the signal fades away really fast, it's possible for the arrow to never actually switch backwards, and so it's pointing forwards the whole time, even after I pass the source, and then it just goes away without ever actually switching back. Now, I actually did see a situation where it did a pretty good job of switching when I passed the radar source, but that was actually because there was a big truck back behind me actually reflecting the signal back from behind, which kind of, due to reflections, made the Max360 actually point backwards. And so, due to reflections, I actually did see that. Now, on that note, let's talk about what happens when I'm driving the other direction, meaning the speed sign is not actually pointing towards me. When I pass it, I actually pick it up from behind and get a nice, strong rear signal. In that situation, the Max360 actually does a good job. It switches nice and quickly and consistently, pretty much as soon as I pass the source, within about a second or so. And it makes it a lot easier for the detector when you pass the source and all of a sudden it's now getting a really strong signal from behind. It makes it a lot easier for the detector to actually recognize you've passed the source and change the arrows. And the same principle holds true for the V1, for the Stinger VIP, or any sort of radar detector which is relying on signal strength to give you arrows, right? So, depending on what direction you're traveling can impact the effectiveness of the arrows. Additionally, depending on the source that you encounter, the arrows may work better or worse, depending on the terrain, depending, as you can see here, on what direction the radar gun is pointed, or depending on traffic with reflections. It all can impact the effectiveness of the arrows. So this is just one test that I did. I'm not seeing a big, huge impact in the primary direction when I'm driving towards the radar source. But as I drive around more, and especially based on Bag and Drag's experience, it sounds like there should be some nice improvements that we should be seeing. So for those of you guys who need to update the firmware, go ahead and do that, drive around for a little while, and let me know if you're seeing an improvement as well. I'm actually really curious. Now, as far as the second thing that they've done, when you're running in one of the FR1 modes, meaning standard FR1 or spec FR1, if you have your arrow mode set to single or multiple arrow modes, not band mode, but single or multiple, the arrows are now going to be the same direction, whether they're pointing front or rear. So, if you have your arrows set to a single arrow mode, when you actually pass the radar source, as the arrows actually flip from front to rear, they'll be the same color in both directions. The same thing if you have your arrows set to multiple arrow mode. In that case, when you're getting multiple signals that it's picking up and it's pointing to multiple signals at the same time, those signals will be the same color, with different directional arrows. So, that's one of the changes now that's been brought about by firmware version 1.5 as well. So, for those of you guys running a Max360, you can go ahead and update your detectors. In order to do it, you're going to need a copy of Escort Detector Tools. You can actually download that from the website. I'm going to put a link down in the video description to where you can both register your Max360 to update it, as well as where you can go download the update software for Windows or Mac OS to get your Max360 updated. For those of you guys who have been wanting a Max360, I'll put a link down in the video description to where you can pick one up. And if you use that link, it also supports me and it supports my channel as well. So it's nice to see some continued improvements with the Max 360. It's, as you can see, not a perfect, complete, total fix, but it does sound like it's an improvement beyond what we've had before. So anyways, new firmware update with the Max 360. Just wanted to go ahead and do this quick video and let you guys know. A couple quick, sample videos to show you how things work. And cool. I'll put some additional links down in the video description too, to the discussion on RDF, as well as to the Escort radar detector forum. So if you want to, join into the discussion about the improvements with the new firmware update or hear about other people's experiences, I'm going to post the link to, those threads on the forums down in the video description below. So a bunch of useful information down there. So awesome. If you have any questions, please let me know, or better yet, hop on the forums and join into the discussion there. So awesome. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.